Yo guys, Jaden's Random Reviews here. Today I finally got my hands on the glorious Model O. Let's unbox it and review it. Before the video starts, I'd like to mention that on this channel, I primarily stick to techie reviews and tutorials on Wednesdays, and techie reviews on Saturdays. So if you guys are new here, consider subscribing. I'd also like to mention I stream on twitch.tv/JadenCoyer. Links down below in the video description below. If you have a question about anything I talk about in this video, I'd love to help out. And without further ado, let's get into the video. To start, the Model O comes in two different variations, a glossy and a matte finish, both coming in with a black and white color. This is going to be the review of the matte black Model O. It starts at a price of $50, whereas the glossy mouse starts at a price of $60. Let's hop right into the unboxing. Taking the lid off, we first have the Model O. We have some instructions down below. This is kind of a thank you for purchasing the Model O. A sticker, this one just shows their logo as well as their socials. This next one just shows some of the other products that they sell on their website. And last but not least, a little bit of a quick start guide for the Model O. That is all for the unboxing process. Let's go take a look at specs and everything this mouse has to offer. Now I'm going to be listing some important specs about the glorious Model O. First, I'd like to mention that the matte version of this mouse comes in at 67 grams, and the glossy version comes in at 68 grams. Just to give you an idea of how light that is, the Ninja Air 58 Final mouse is around 9 to 8 grams lower than that. So this is still an extremely light mouse, and you won't be seeing much of a difference between this mouse and the Final mouse. It is 120 millimeters long and 59 at the front flare and 66 at the rear, with a height of 37.5 millimeters. It has two side programmable buttons and a DPI changer right behind the mouse scroll wheel. The scroll wheel has a nice feel to it. It feels very tactical and very responsive. The mouse has some beautiful RGB around the scroll wheel and both sides of the mouse. The mouse has an ascended cord compared to the Final mouse, which has a phantom cord. The glides on the bottom are G-skate glides, very similar to hyper glides. So you're going to be experiencing some very smooth movement with this mouse. The mouse sensor is the PMW3360, which is exactly what the Final mouse has and some other big name gaming mouses. The mouse DPI starts at 400 and can go up to 12,000. That can be customized in the download for the mouse on your PC, which I will talk about later in the video. That is going to be all for the dimensions on the glorious Model O. Now I'm going to be showing you guys how to download the software for the glorious Model O. You're first going to want to head to the website, which I will link down below in the video description below if you guys want to follow along with me. Once you've done that, you're going to want to scroll down to the download option where it says software optional right here. You're going to want to click download. Once you've done that, you're going to want to open it up. Once you've opened it up, on the right hand side, you're going to see some settings such as DPI settings and lighting settings. I'm going to be breaking down the DPI setting and the lighting setting today because I feel like those are the most important to the mouse. First, on the DPI settings, you're going to see these little options with checkboxes on either side. What the checkboxes do is when you click the little middle mouse, when you click the DPI changer, it'll change between each setting. For example, if I click the checkbox and I click the mouse button right here, it'll switch to 800 DPI, and this will be indicated by the red little outline on the numbers. If I click it again, it'll go back, so I can switch between the two options. Now you can keep there's up to 6 different options that you can set, and in order to customize them, you want to just click on them. And then you can change the X and Y axis for your personal liking. I just keep them all unclicked because I don't want to accidentally bump the button mid-game through a video game and then throw off my sensitivity, but it's all up to you. Next, we're going to be looking at the lighting section. With the lighting, you're going to see effects. You can change the effects of the RGB on your Model O, such as breathing, which basically means that the RGB kind of goes in and then out, kind of like someone breathing, for example. You can change it to be just a singular color. You can have a wave and a bunch of other cool things that you can mess around with. It's pretty simple and straightforward. On the left hand side, you're going to see the ability to customize the actual buttons on your mouse, such as your scroll wheel, your left click, right click, and your two side mouse buttons. Now, I wouldn't really mess around with the left click and right click, but if you really want to, you can, but those are pretty standard things for most video games. But with the 4 and 5, these are going to be your mouse buttons. Now, if you click on them, you can change them to do specific keys. You can also, there's also macro settings if you want to mess around with that too. I'm not going to be doing a bunch of messing around because I already like how the layout of the mouse is in it of itself, But if you want to, feel free to mess around. It's pretty straightforward, so the software of the Glorious Model O is definitely a 10 out of 10. Now there are a few things I'd like to mention on the mouse before I get to some of the other tests. I'd like to mention that the honeycomb kind of build to it just feels really nice. It also allows for this mouse to be really lightweight. Another thing I'd like to mention is this is an ascended cable for the mouse, and I didn't realize how helpful this was until I started using this mouse more and more. I mean, it's just super simple, it's very lightweight, and it doesn't really move the mouse when you push back on it, so you're going to have full control over the mouse, which is a great feature to have. Some mouses, when you push back the wire, kind of move the mouse backward, which doesn't allow for full control, which is really cool considering that this mouse is lightweight, and the light cable just helps tremendously with that aspect. Now I'm going to be giving you guys a click test and showing you guys what the sounds are on this mouse. Now I'm going to be giving you guys my honest thoughts and opinions about the Glorious Model O. To start, for $50 you're getting a killer mouse, and while light mice are becoming super popular in the gaming industry, this would be a perfect mouse to pick up, considering the fact that you're not going to be busting a hole in your wallet, and it's only $50. Most mouse that are really light can cost above $100, which can be really expensive for a gaming mouse. Not only that, but the RGB aspect of the mouse just makes it look so much cooler, and I know that's not necessary, but that's a cool feature I'd like to point out. Something I'd like to mention is that the comfortability of this mouse is super nice. It can fit almost any grip if you're using a claw grip, a standard grip, or just any sort of grip. Now it does have a smaller version, and I would only recommend going with the smaller version if you have really small hands, because I have small hands and this fits my hand perfectly fine. And the comfortability of this mouse is definitely super nice. It's not too bulky, it doesn't have too many ridges in the middle of the mouse that kind of make it awkwardly placed on your hand. So overall the comfortability is extremely nice. Now the one thing that took me a little bit of getting used to was the scroll wheel, and that's just because I came with a previous mice that had a different form factor when it came to the scroll wheel. But the scroll wheel is really nice and very responsive. Other than that, there's not much to talk about this mouse. It's just super nice, lightweight, and for $50, I would totally recommend picking up this mouse if you're looking to getting a new gaming mouse or already have a gaming mouse and want to make it a little bit of an upgrade. So I hope you guys did find this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe down below for more content like this. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.
Good job.
Got the whole squad.
Aight, let's go.
Got our squad mate's banner.